In 2025, travel is about more than just money. It can cost your freedom, your safety, even your life. The US government has quietly issued level 4 travel warnings for several countries. Americans continue to visit every day. These are the 7 places Americans should avoid at all costs right now. Some of them might surprise you. Number 7. Venezuela. You've seen it in documentaries. Empty supermarkets, desperate people trading bread for batteries, and city lights flickering out at dusk. But here's what you might not know. Americans are being detained without charges and used as political leverage. Once a thriving, oil-rich nation, Venezuela now stands in chaos. Hyperinflation has obliterated its currency. Armed groups roam rural towns, and in Caracas, power outages strike randomly, sometimes lasting for days. The US State Department has classified it as level 4. Do not travel. But this isn't just about crime. It's about survival. Hospitals lack essential supplies like antibiotics and IV fluids. Travelers have reported needing to pay bribes just to clear immigration. One dual national American was detained for weeks. His only crime was holding both a US and Venezuelan passport. Local police rarely intervene in violent incidents. Instead, militias fill the power vacuum. And the US Embassy? It pulled out years ago. That means no help, no safety net. Venezuela once hosted Miss Universe pageants and international concerts. Today, even global humanitarian organizations refuse entry. And yet, some tour companies still market eco-tours into these unstable zones. If you think this is extreme, wait until you hear about the next country. It's a tourist paradise, hiding a violent undercurrent you'd never expect. Number 6. Trinidad and Tobago. Steel drums, carnival, crystal clear waters, and a crime wave so intense it forced the government to declare a national emergency. This Caribbean favorite is now under siege. Drug gangs and corrupt police forces have turned paradise into peril. On paper, it's level 3. Reconsider travel. But look closer at Port of Spain and you'll find a murder rate 5 times higher than the US average. In 2024 alone, Trinidad recorded over 600 homicides. Many of them were execution-style killings linked to gang turf wars. Tourists have been carjacked outside hotels, robbed during festivals, and in one high-profile case, an American was abducted just steps from the beach. What makes it worse? These crimes often go unpunished. Law enforcement has been accused of colluding with gangs. One former official even admitted, "We've lost control of half the city." Travelers are strongly advised to avoid crowds, stay indoors after dark, and skip walking tours even during the day, especially near Charlotte Street and Laventille. And yet, cruise ships still dock. Resorts still promise total island bliss. But stay tuned, because next, I'll take you to an Indonesian province where rebels hold tourists hostage. And the jungle has eyes. Number 5. Indonesia, Papua region. It looks like paradise. Untouched rainforests, tribal villages, and sacred mountains. But behind the postcard, armed rebels and hostage standoffs. Few travelers realize that Central Papua and Highland Papua are under level 4. Do not travel warnings. These provinces are gripped by a violent independence movement. The Free Papua Movement, or OPM, has waged a low-level war for decades, but in recent years they've started targeting foreigners. In 2023, a New Zealand pilot was kidnapped and held hostage for over 8 months. He was captured by militants after landing at a remote airstrip, ironically as part of a humanitarian mission. Internet blackouts are common. Police presence is minimal, and Indonesian officials restrict foreign press access, fearing global embarrassment. Treks sold online into the so-called Papuan Highlands often gloss over the danger, marketing jungle tours in areas where journalists have been killed. And if you think your embassy will help, think again. Visa restrictions prevent consular staff from operating in many parts of Papua. Rebels have reportedly used drones to monitor movement. Even humanitarian aid convoys have been ambushed. So yes, Bali is open, but head east and you're stepping into a conflict zone the travel agencies don't want you to know about. And speaking of war zones, the next country has airstrikes in broad daylight. Number 4. Ukraine. Kiev's coffee shops are open. Life goes on. But above that calm, Russian drones fly in formation, hunting for targets. Despite the illusion of normalcy, Ukraine is still a war zone, and Americans are warned to stay far away. In May 2025, the US Embassy in Kiev issued an alert warning of significant air attacks expected within days. Even regions once considered safe are now exposed. Western cities like Lviv have suffered missile strikes, while the Eastern Front remains an active battleground. Train stations, shopping centers, and apartment buildings have all been hit in surprise bombings. Infrastructure is fragile. Electricity is inconsistent. Roads into some regions are crumbling or blocked by military checkpoints. And it's not just about getting out, it's about being able to get in. Many airlines have suspended routes, and if you're inside when borders close, you could be trapped. One traveler documented his escape. A grueling 14-hour drive from Kiev to Poland, dodging drone sirens and blocked roads? You don't realize you're in a war zone until the sirens go off. Stick with me, because next we're heading to the one country where American passports are quietly becoming liabilities. Number 3. Russia. Imagine landing in Moscow, heading to your hotel, and suddenly being interrogated just for being American. That's the reality now. Russia is actively targeting US citizens, both for political leverage and alleged espionage. In 2024, Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich was detained with no formal trial, held in solitary confinement for months. Others, including students and dual nationals, have been arrested for minor infractions like expired visas or disrespectful social posts. The US has issued a Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory. But this isn't just about avoiding a trip, it's about avoiding entrapment. Russia has suspended the last direct US flight routes. Hotels are now required to report all foreign check-ins to authorities. And if you're detained, you'll have no embassy support. Staff numbers have been drastically reduced, and most legal aid networks have gone dark. Here's what they don't tell you. Russian border agents are reportedly flagging Americans at customs using social media profiles, Reddit history, and even Google searches. A simple post criticizing the war, that could land you in a basement with no lawyer and no way out. Stick with me, because the next country is even more shocking. It's a place where there's no functioning police force, and Americans are disappearing in broad daylight. Number 2. Haiti. Port-au-Prince is no longer a city, it's a war zone divided by gangs. As of 2025, over 80% of the capital is under gang control. The national police force has effectively collapsed. Kidnappings are a daily reality. In March, an American couple visiting family was taken for ransom just hours after landing. Hospitals have shut down, roads are blocked. Fuel is only accessible through the black market. The U.S. Embassy has withdrawn most personnel, leaving behind a skeletal crew unable to provide evacuations or emergency services. The State Department's warning is clear: do not travel to Haiti due to kidnapping, crime, and civil unrest. In 2024, over 2,000 inmates escaped when gang members stormed the national prison. That event triggered the current collapse, forcing judges, doctors, and journalists into hiding. Some neighborhoods are completely inaccessible, even to the Red Cross. And while media coverage has faded, the violence hasn't. In fact, some embassies now advise citizens to cancel all regional travel indefinitely. Even food and water convoys are hijacked. The remaining journalists call Haiti the world's first urban failed state. One aid worker shared, "We now run night operations in full silence. Any lighter sound attracts bullets." And here's the most chilling part. Americans are seen as high-value targets. Some disappear for months, others are never found. If your car breaks down, you're stuck. If you're injured, there's no ambulance coming. Still thinking of visiting? Then wait until you hear about Syria, the most dangerous country for Americans anywhere in the world. Number 1. Syria. No government help, no rescue route, no guarantees you'll ever make it out. Syria remains the deadliest destination on Earth for US citizens. And in 2025, the risks are worse than ever. The State Department has maintained a firm Level 4 Do Not Travel advisory for years, yet Americans still end up detained, kidnapped, or worse. Why? Because Syria is not just unstable, it's a patchwork of terror cells, foreign militias, and hostile regimes. US citizens are often viewed as bargaining chips. One humanitarian worker was abducted near Aleppo and hasn't been seen since 2022. The US government has no diplomatic presence in Syria, no embassy, no consular assistance. If you're captured, you're completely on your own. Travelers have been executed on video, others are still being held in underground prisons, used as pawns in negotiations that never come. Drone strikes, remnants of chemical weapons, and landmines continue to plague regions like Idlib and Raqqa. Even aid convoys are targeted. And despite all this, some influencers still sneak in, chasing headlines. Many never make it out. Travel opens minds, but ignoring the risk can close doors forever. Stay smart, stay safe. Subscribe now for real-time alerts and the hidden truths that mainstream news won't show you. And share this video because someone you know might already be packing.